The left wing of the Republican Party says they believe in social freedom, but they definitely don't believe in economic freedom. So you're offered a Hobson's choice at best. But the worst part of it is that the Republicans always say that they're for capitalism and the free market, and they're the biggest interveners. So you can tell that they're liars, and the laws that they make are all to pad the pockets of the people that are biggest campaign donors. So I'm sympathetic with the people that despise the Republican Party, because the Democrats are actually more intellectually honest. I mean, they're despicable, but at least they're honest about their intentions. Just the opposite of Guy Fawkes. One of the things I like about Guy Fawkes is I said he was the only man that ever entered Parliament with honest intentions. So, although I consider him a good guy, the Democrats are kind of like that. But the Republicans are hypocrites, and they're liars, and nobody likes that type of thing, in addition to the kind of candidates that they get, which represent what they are. So my guess is that Obama's going to win this time. It's a toss-up. I'll tell you why. Because the majority of Americans are net recipients of government largesse, and they don't want that to go away, especially during hard times. So they're going to vote their pocketbook. On the other hand, it's like Clinton said when he was running. He said, it's the economy, stupid. And if the economy really falls apart in the next few months, and I don't know if it will or not, then they'll reflexively vote against whoever's in office. But I can't imagine all these poor people voting for Romney. So I don't know. All I feel much more certain about is that the next American election in 2016, and I presume we'll have one then, the winner is going to be some left-wing general, because Americans love their military. They just love their military. They're just such idiots. And they'll get a left-wing general because Americans trust the military, at least on levels below the Pentagon, which most people kind of understand is corrupt. And they need somebody that's firm, get the country in a grip, and turn it around, and tell them what to do. So that's my guess. I think we're going to have something approaching a military dictatorship in 2016. But we'll see. I hope I'm dead wrong. But actually, it doesn't matter which one of these morons is elected, because it's very much, the United States is very much in the same position that Rome was in after Augustus. And then they got Tiberius. And he was so terrible in his later years that everybody was incredibly happy when he died. And they thought, well, it really can't get any worse. But they were wrong. And then they got Claudius, who was a very stupid emperor. Went from evil to stupid. And then, after Claudius, I'm glad he was gone, it's got to get better. No! They went back to evil. They got Caligula. And then, after Caligula, how could it get any worse? Then they got Nero. Well, how could it get any worse? Well, then they got a civil war. So, it's not at all an unlikely scenario, I think, for the U.S. Just a brief word about the nation state and democracy. How much time have I taken?
You have another 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. I don't have much more to say about this. I've got to say a few words about democracy, though, because everybody says, well, yeah, but democracy is the answer to this type of thing. But I think that although the nation state itself, an institution which arose in the mid-17th century, generally speaking, people started out with tribes, where you were loyal to other people that you generally shared a common ancestor with, and you were all kind of related, and you all knew each other. And then it moved into empires, Egypt and the Babylonians and the Assyrians and the Romans and so forth. And then it went to the nation state, where you're not really, your loyalty is not to Obama or Bush or Reagan, and it's to entity, the country itself. I suppose it's an improvement over the idea of a kingdom, but I mean, it's got to be an improvement over the idea of a kingdom. I mean, how degraded is that to forced to be loyal to some degenerate that's dressed up in purple robes? I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm so embarrassed for those poor, stupid Brits who, toast the Queen and all this type of things. I'm just embarrassed by these people. So, the latest incarnation of the nation-state focuses on democracy, and it's really become a secular religion these days. I mean, people think that, maybe you say, it's like saying, well, everybody believes in God. Well, no. Everybody believes in democracy. No, I don't think so. The belief that you can get the lowest common denominator of society to get together and vote in a mob and improve things. It's a giant circle jerk. It's something where everybody thinks they can live at the expense of everybody else. It's a mob rule dressed up in a coat and tie. So no, I decry democracy, and I do that publicly. I had an opportunity yesterday. I was on Russia Today, which along with Al Jazeera is the best news show on TV. I got to do a half an hour of this stuff to the hopeful amusement of RT's viewing public. Patriotism. We're supposed to be patriotic too. No, I don't believe in patriotism. Patriotism is the belief that your country is the best country in the world just because you happen to be born there. It's a crazy conceit. It makes no sense at all. So what's going to replace this? I think the nation state's a dead man walking. I think it's a dinosaur on its last legs at this point. It's very dangerous. I mean, a big dinosaur, even if it was about to die, is still really dangerous. You want to stay out of its way. I'm a believer in files, some concept that was created by Neil Stephenson, the science fiction writer, and basically posits that with the invention of telecommunications worldwide, cheap, easy, jet travel, cheap, easy everywhere, and especially the internet, we can find out who our real countrymen are. We're not medieval serfs anymore, where you live in a little village and you're born there and you don't go more than a day's walk away because there might be dragons over that mountain or something. You heard these stories. So the internet lets you connect with your real countrymen. My real countrymen aren't people that I share government ID from, issued by the US government. Actually, most of my fellow Americans are actually my enemies. They're not my friends. I'd say the average Iranian is much likely to be more of a friend of mine than the average American. Why? Because the average American is a leech trying to take me down. The average Iranian has done me no harm at all. So it's actually exactly the opposite of what most people think, as far as I'm concerned. But the internet, as you all know, can allow you to find your real countrymen based on whatever is important to you. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's your religion, maybe most people here it's a philosophy, it's a way of living. There are 1,000 reasons why you could want to form friends. I think your philosophy and that type of thing is the most important one. But as far as I've said this for years, I'm closer to friends of mine in the Congo than I am to people that live 3 miles down the road from me in Aspen. People in the Congo, I don't share race, I don't share religion, I don't share culture, I don't even share a real common language, but we agree on things that are important. But the people that live down the road, we have no agreement, and those people are an active danger to me. So your real countrymen can be anywhere. I think the way people are going to organize themselves in the future is with files. They're going to find each other and eventually come to agreements for mutual protection, mutual benefit, and so forth. It'll be formalized, and so forth. So I read Stevenson's book, Diamond Age, which gives a good explanation of the way this type of thing might work. And that's the way I think it's going to go. I don't know how we solve the problem of stupidity and evil. I don't know how we solve the problem of sociopaths. It's an individual thing. you have to solve it